Today we are talking about the habits that I picked up when I had hardly any money. Habits that I have intentionally kept even as I became wealthy. Because here's the thing. A lot of what keeps us stuck has nothing to do with what we earn and everything to do with what we're taught to spend on. So jump in. Welcome to my happy money journey. I'm Phoebe Blamey, award-winning finance expert and founder, here with practical strategies and inspiring stories to help you take charge of your finances and live your best life. Let's dive in, because your journey to financial freedom starts now. Today's episode is sponsored by Entourage Finance and Property. Entourage is a finance and property advisory business whose mission it is to help Australians grow their wealth through property. With services including home loan lending, buyers and vendors advocacy, and car finance, Entourage supports Australians in achieving. Hey, today we're flipping the script on the broke girl habits that you're told you should outgrow. Because honestly, some of those survival skills are the very things that make us rich. I'm going to talk about hair, fashion, cooking, price matching, asking for discounts, and how societal pressure on women to look perfect is keeping so many of us financially trapped. This silent pink tax isn't messing with our wallets, it's messing with our dreams. So today, let's go and let's talk about the 6 key broke girl habits I still swear by and how they've helped me build unapologetic, joyful wealth. So my first broke girl habit that I've kept up with is I dye my own roots, and I take care of a lot of those day-to-day beauty maintenance that can take us a lot of time and a lot of money. I do it myself. One of the greatest tricks that I think the patriarchy has pulled on us is to get us concentrating on how we look and how we present, rather than, and particularly our weight, because we will spend millions on our weight over the course of a lifetime. And that keeps us from achieving any savings or investing goals we may have. It just keeps us distracted. And I really respect, I think it was Tori Dunlap, who is one of my most favourite women, says in her book, the patriarchy says that we're wasting money on makeup and nice clothes, then tells us we look unprofessional if we don't. This double standard doesn't just mess with our self-esteem, it messes with our financial goals. Like, it really does. This constant pressure to invest in appearance, it just creates a silent tax. Or I've just read the pink tax. It's our pink tax. It's whether it's our hair, it's our fashion, it's our skincare. It's all chipping away daily on our ability to get our financial independence. So, yes, I still get my hair coloured. Yes, I spend probably 10 times what a man spends going to the barber to go and get my hair done professionally. However, I've got all these little hacks in between, which means that I'm not spending it all the time, and that I can still get to that wealthy, and I can still get to that fashionista, wealthy, happy, yet I can still look and feel glamorous when I want to, even though I am not spending the amount of money that I could be spending on that, because I really do want to get to my investment goals, my savings goals, and let some of this shit go. So what are some of the things that I used to do to keep myself looking absolutely tip-top, particularly when I was in corporate and I was working in banking, and you really have to look a certain way? On the looks and on the looks alone, my biggest one is touching up my roots. So yes, I get my hair cut and coloured, of course I do, but I don't get it done that frequently, and actually looking at it now, it's probably in massive need of it. But back in the day, I used to do my own colour, and I learned to do it sort of semi-professionally. I went into the hairdresser supply shop. We've got one here called Hair House Warehouse. Got them to show me got them to color match me, bought the dyes, bought the bleach that you put with it to enable it, and got them to teach me how to do it so that when I did my roots, not only could I sit in front of my computer and keep doing my work if I was working from home, so I didn't have to spend 3 hours at a hair salon, but also it saved me so much money because going and getting that done, we're still talking over $100. Whereas, man, going to barber for monthly or 6-weekly haircut, maybe $40. So I want to save that money. I want to keep that money where I can be investing it, where I can be doing other things with it, because that's my money. It used to take me an hour and a half to earn that $100. It used to take me nearly 3 hours to earn that $100. So spending it on getting my roots touched up, where I could do it myself for maybe the course of a year using the products that I'd got, would cost me maybe at best $25, $30. So one worth thinking about. And that's one that when I was talking to another friend of mine who's also a beautiful and unapologetically wealthy woman this morning, she still does her own hair, and there is no way I could tell that. Doing that, save time, save money. And my next one is I shop secondhand. Now, back in the day, I used to literally op shop. I remember going in to see the Centrelink people that used to help with finding a job, and going into there, and I just bought this most beautiful designer-looking bag from an op shop in Paran that cost me $2.50. I bought some shoe polish and had scrubbed it up so it looked really beautiful. It looked brand new. And it was literally one of the first things I got a compliment on as I walked through the door. Oh my God, I love your handbag. There it was, my $2.50 handbag plus the cost of the shoe polish to get it all looking beautiful. I still do that. I might do it at higher end secondhand shops now. I might do it at the designer secondhand shops, but there's still bargains to be had in op shops, and I cannot resist walking past. I cannot walk past an op shop without going in to just have a little scurry around to see if there's any beautiful things that I can find that really make me feel and look so presentable. It is amazing what people throw out or what they don't want anymore, and the high quality of stuff that you can get by just really being a savvy secondhand shopper. So that's my second one, is shopping secondhand and finding the beauty in that. The other thing I love about that is I'm on a personal mission. The other thing I love about that and doing that is that I'm on a personal mission to get rid of the amount of landfill we've got that is because of clothing. And if anyone's seen those pictures of just huge holes being dug and just filled with clothes that we're not wearing, that we're not using, yeah, recycling, good for the environment, good for your pocket, and still very good for your look. My third one is cooking from home. Why do we think that it's a good idea to go and have lunch out every day? And who can afford that? Like, I was a single mum working in corporate. There is no way that I could afford to spend $20 or $30 or $40 a day going out to eat with the boys. And it didn't mean that I didn't do it ever, but I had to really rein that in because it costs so much money. So instead of doing that, I used to have this beautiful little lunchbox that I would fill with all of my favorite things. Could have been leftovers from the night before. It could have been a special sandwich. Could have been a salad that I've made myself with a beautiful dressing, whatever it was. Healthier, better for me, and absolutely solved my poverty problems because I would go out and buy one chicken and go down to the Paran market where they did back in the day a $15 box of vegetables on a Sunday afternoon for all the vegetables that they were throwing out. So my weekly shop was reduced, and it meant that I could actually name. And I could actually just go and get what I wanted all the time. And it meant that I was eating exactly what I wanted all the time. So cooking at home, preparing my lunches, doing those things rather than spending masses and masses of money on food that is neither satisfying nor good for me was a really big hit to my savings. It really improved my savings. And it's funny because you get the same dopamine hit from it. And it's funny because another friend of mine was telling me today that in Japan, it is a point of pride on how your lunch looks every day and how good your lunch is, and your bento box that you bring from home every day is an actual point of pride. So why don't we have that same pride here? Why aren't we proud of what we bring? Why don't we give ourselves a little lunchbox, put a little affirmation note in it to make ourselves feel good about what we're eating? Because we know what's in it. Then there are a couple that are more broad, and one of them is price matching, which we do talk a lot about, which is, and this is one that I, again, still do and love doing, and I check all the prices of anything I'm going to buy. I deliberately shop at places where I know that they're going to price match, and I'll go in there and I will get my $5 or $10 or $15 off my dog food. I am not embarrassed to price match. I'm not embarrassed to use tokens, to use savings vouchers or 2-for-1 or collect points that then result in savings. I absolutely price match like it's a sport. And the difference might not seem like much, but if you save a little bit on everything, it keeps you conscious of what you're spending, as well as it's multiplied over time, and it can really make a huge difference to how much money we've got. We are taught so often to be polite and shut up and not ask questions and not challenge. And I think price matching is just a little daily challenge I can do to get into that habit of just challenging all sorts of other stuff. So challenging the price against a big corporation, why not? And after that, I want to issue a challenge to something else. The sky is the absolute limit. We can challenge whatever we want. So that's one. And my other one that I still do, and this is a hard one because it came from such shame and embarrassment of having overdue bills and not being able to pay for things and really juggling my money when I was quite broke, until I got to the one that I thought that I would never do once I got to the point that I am now, but one I still do, is paying for things monthly and paying for them on plans. So, for example, we get our gas and electricity bills quarterly. I'm telling you now, if I paid that quarterly, I would resent how much money I'm spending. Pay it monthly, pay it on a plan, and I know exactly how much my bill's going to be. And if there's any adjustments to be made, they're made at the end of the period, end of the year, or with mine, they're all made at the end of the year. So paying monthly just keeps my cash flow alive. It means that I'm not broke. It means that I can remain flexible. I'm spending a great deal of money. It helps me also remind myself to go back and reevaluate and look at what I'm spending on that monthly spend. And it also reminds me to go back and reevaluate what I'm spending and making sure that I'm spending the right amount of money to get that service. Every so often, I'll go and dare to compare the gas bill or the electricity bill or my insurance costs because they're coming out monthly. I don't have to do it as an annual thing. I can do it anytime and get them to lower prices or change a service. We're talking to another friend of mine who's in business, and one of hers this morning was going and asking for a better price because she sees the money coming out monthly and they just put the price up of something. So it's much more visible when the prices go up as well. And that's the next one, which is I constantly renegotiate on the prices of anything that I am paying. So I constantly go back and ask for a better rate on my home loan. And I constantly go back and ask for a better rate on those electricity, insurance, gas, anything, any of those monthly payments. I am constantly in touch with them because at the end of the month, I'll rejig, I'll go and have a look at what I've spent where and make sure that my subscriptions and my spending are aligned as well with what I do. So easy again to drop something that's not aligned. So my next one is to go back and renegotiate what those monthly payments actually are. So a friend of mine this morning told me that she had gone back to a very big company who supply something for her business and they doubled their price. And because she's been with them for so long and such a good user of them, actually gave her 75% off her subscription. Like these things you think are unheard of. I can remember so vividly when I had the mortgage broking business and rates started to really skyrocket. We went back over all of our old customers to see if we could get them a better rate without them knowing. And I found one customer who was paying probably 3% above what she should have been paying. The bank changed her like that. It was unreal. Shouldn't have been on that rate in the first place, wasn't paying attention to her interest rate. Otherwise, she surely would have been on to us as her brokers. And it's easy to miss things when you've got hundreds of clients. So stay aware of what you're paying, but go back to where you're paying it and renegotiate as if you've got no money. And they are my 6 biggest broke-ass girl. And those are my 6 biggest tricks, tips, things that were my broke habits that I have kept up with, even though I am not broke anymore. Have a look at what you do and see if there's some habits that you either need to create to stop yourself being broke and to get your attention onto investing. Get your attention onto your money. We've got to let go of this concept that we have to look perfect and be perfect by spending loads and loads of money. We've really got to get out there and make sure that we're spending money on the things that actually lift us up and bring us joy, but not spending money to be perfect in someone else's eyes. Of course, you need to be well put together for work. Of course, you need to look the part that you're playing. And of course, it is an absolutely unequal playing field where we have to spend a whole lot more money. But given that's the circumstance, let's do the best we can with what we've got. And let's really hack into some of those spending habits that we've got now. And I am so proud I've kept them because those are some of the habits that got me to where I am now. And I'm sure if you think about it, there's some habits that you can put in place that can get you to where you want to go. Or there's some habits you're still using, even though you're now unapologetically wealthy. So let's find what they are, share them in the comments, and let me know your thoughts on today's podcast. I'd love your feedback. Thank you very much. As always, it is a pleasure coming to you and having these chats. I will be back again next week and with some more great tips on how to become the unapologetically beautifully wealthy woman that is in you. thanks again to Entourage Finance and Property for sponsoring today's podcast. You can find out more about what Entourage can do for you at entourage.com.au. The information shared on my happy money journey is for general informational purposes only and does not constitute financial, legal or professional advice. While I am a financial educator, the advice given may not be suitable for your individual circumstances. Always consult with a qualified financial professional before making any significant financial decisions. The views expressed are my own and do not necessarily reflect those of any associated organisation. Listener discretion is advised.